With the growth of advanced opportunities, college credit transfer has become more and more of an issue that legislators are really looking forward to figuring out and making smoother between our public institutions. And so this legislative session in 2018, Senate Bill 1221 addressed part of this issue, and you can use the QR code to go directly to the language in the bill. But essentially, the statute says the following. Students attaining an AA or AS degree meet general education requirements. And so what that does is it puts the public institutions in a position to say, if the students have an associate's degree, they will not be required to take any more of the Gen Ed core. Students completing the GEM framework are not required to take any more additional Gen Ed courses. So the the GEM framework being the 36 credits required to complete that. And so if the student has that completely done, then they don't need to take any more Gen Ed courses. It also says that standalone Gen Ed courses stick. So if a class like English 101 or 102 was considered Gen Ed at the University of Idaho, it will be considered meeting that Gen Ed requirement at ISU as well. And so again, this legislation is put in place to make sure that those are transferring a little easier than they have been in the past. Idaho higher education institutions must provide reason for denial in writing to students. So if for some reason the registrar's office or the institution does not accept one of the credits, they have to provide a reason for that in writing to the students. And then dual credit discrimination is prohibited with college transfers. So things like this, the more dual credit that a student has under their belt, for an institution, it might mean that the student will spend less time at their institution because they'll get through it faster, and because of that, that student is not as has a different dollar value for the college or university. And so this statute makes sure to prohibit that kind of discrimination. And there are still a lot of gray areas related to this statute, and so the State Board of Education will be working on promulgating further rules related to college credit transfer. But essentially what we're after here is we want to make sure that when students are told that certain courses are going to count for certain requirements, that they indeed do. This statute is also created to help those institutions work a little closer together to make sure that those credits are transferring so that students aren't taking classes thinking that they're going to count for something and then find out after the fact that they don't. And so this is one section of code that is brand new, and there will be further guidance, more guidance to come in the fall and into the following year.